Well, since that documentary was broadcast in October last year, Katie Piper has continued to rebuild her life and now wants to help other burns victims, and she joins us now. And it's lovely to see you back here again.
Lovely to be here, thank you.
So it was October, and me and Phil were just saying, I mean, it's constant going in and out of hospital having operations, and since October you have had other operations on your face, haven't you?
Yes, I have. I actually had a procedure in using stem cells and fat transfer from my lower body into my face, which has built up sort of the contours and the cheeks, and also helped where I've got kind of contractions and restricted skin to really stretch the skin.
Well, it's just incredible. You look really, really well.
Thank you very much.
Well, it's lovely for you to be here, and if you don't mind, just in case people didn't see this in October, if we just go back, because you before this incident happened, you were a TV presenter, happy-go-lucky girl,
24 years old,
young
person, thought I was invincible, yeah.
And it was on the 31st of March, wasn't it? Oh, you were leaving your house, you were going to an internet cafe, and tell us what happened.
Yeah, it was the 31st of March 2008, and like you said, I was leaving my flat, and I was approached by somebody who I thought was a beggar, and they threw sulfuric acid in my face. It all sort of happened in a matter of seconds, and then I was running around trying to get help, and finally got taken by an ambulance to a London hospital, and then the recovery and the kind of roller coaster of operations really started from there.
So you say beforehand you were invincible, you had everything going for you. When you described there in that clip, you're looking at yourself in the mirror, what sort of a person did you become after that?
I think I was very much a victim in the beginning, and I almost went back to being quite childlike. I was frightened, I was scared, vulnerable, and I was constantly with my parents, and once I was discharged from hospital, I didn't leave my house, and my life became mainly sort of medical trips, and of course the extensive legal trial as well.
And what sort of help did you get from services surrounding you?
I was supported by everybody, from the police to my doctor, my psychologist, and my friends and family, more so my family. And I've never felt alone in a sense of sort of professional people, but I did feel isolated because of my appearance, and almost when I looked on the internet for help and support, I didn't want to be necessarily defined as a burns victim or felt like, you know, falling into that category, because although I was frightened and I was suffering from this disfigurement, I felt that I wasn't just that person.
So what's been the most beneficial thing for you? Because obviously we look at you now and, you know, you're back to how you were describing yourself when you were 24. I mean, you know, your confidence is back, you've got your life back on track, you're going out more. So what was the kind of, what helped the most? Was it the kind of medical advances that have enabled you to have these reconstructive surgeries that have been so successful, or was it the psychology or the family? What was the main thing?
I think it's hard to kind of single out one thing, because I think for anybody, you need to really take everything that's given to you. I mean, I personally think it's important to have a psychologist, but also to be able to talk to friends and family. And the surgery is great functionally, but I don't think surgery can make somebody happy. Obviously functionally it's great, but to improve the quality of your life, but it's not all about trying to get your old face back and look a certain way. And I think a massive thing that helped me was actually the documentary, in terms of confidence and self-belief, and then getting the public support from the documentary was a real boost for my self-esteem, and kind of thinking it's okay to be me, and also the story was out there, everybody saw me at my worst, and it, you know, it kind of just went up from there, really.
It's a funny old society though, isn't it, when you judge people on just those surface millimetres, and people can be terribly cruel, can't they, for completely forgetting the person within.
I think so, but also it taught me a lot of things, because I realised I was probably oversensitive and paranoid and hurting, and that a lot of people were curious, and when they stared and looked, it wasn't to be unkind. And I don't think people should feel persecuted for looking at people, because we're all curious, and I look at girls' outfits and I look at things that I don't see every day, because maybe we're conditioned to things that we don't see normally. We do want to know out of curiosity, and I think that it's great to be able to raise awareness and show people that look different, so it's not a shock.
And you're raising awareness. You've set up the Katie Piper Foundation.
That's right.
And so the idea of this is to kind of help other people that have been in similar situations to you or other people who are burns victims, but in a way that you want to give them the experience that you had, the positives that you got out of this.
Yeah, and to empower them, and not necessarily show them empathetically or in a kind of as a medical case study, but as something else other than a burns survivor. I mean, I had some fantastic responses, but also some strange responses, some really intelligent people saying things like, oh, you know, it's great you still do your hair. I think, well, I'm not bald, so I do still have to use a brush.
Really?
You know? Yeah, and it was just kind of people trying to be kind, but it kind of made me realise that there are a lot of people that would label you as that's you now, and I think, well, it doesn't have to be that way, you know.
Which is why you're such a great person to front this. Do you know what I mean?
Well, you've got big support as well, haven't you? They don't come much bigger than Simon Cowell.
I know, it's quite surreal, really.
So this was at a do last night. You had your do to launch it, and you were very nervous about making your speech. How did that go?
Well, so I can't wear earrings because I've got my little kind of Star Trek ear, and the stylist found me some clip-on earrings, and they were kind of dangly ones, and I was so scared and shaking that they were like, jingling, and I was holding a microphone. I thought, all anyone's going to hear is the earrings rattling.
Well, I mean, you've got a whole room full of people who, thankfully, are there because of you and because of what you're doing. Then you've got a lot of support. What did Simon say to you?
Well, I went and met him upstairs in his office before, and I was quite nervous at that because I've met him only a handful of times, but I was still like, wow, it's Simon Cowell. But he just told me to imagine everybody naked, which wasn't so useful because
that's how he works.
But yeah, I mean, I was quite nervous because everyone in that room has really supported me and done so much for me, and you know, there were the police, medical people, my friends and family, and it was my kind of big chance, and I didn't want to let anybody down, so I was really scared.
And how close are you now to achieving your goals and actually building the foundation?
Probably just at the beginning now. I think the hard work will start. I mean, I've done a lot of work in the office and kind of promoting it, so hopefully from Simon's involvement we'll be able to move forward with, I mean, the main objective is to have a scar management centre in the UK, so that's what we're raising the funds for. Right. But aside that is the acceptance and the awareness, and what a great person, because so many people, you know, are influenced by him, and he decides what's cool and what's not, and if he's coming behind a campaign like this, I think that just adds massive weight to it already.
What about you? Have you got more work that needs to be done?
Surgically?
Yeah.
I've got an operation next week, actually. I'm having skin grafts on my upper eyelids because I don't have enough skin to protect my eyes. So I'm having skin taken from my groin, grafted on, and also a placenta graft to my blind eye because it's got some vasculation. It's a bit uncomfortable.
So, but you'll never regain the sight in that
well,
eye?
They want to get the lid position correct, so give me some more skin here, and at a later date do something to my lower lids, and then once I've got closure, they might explore some kind of cornea transplant or stem cells. So
it's amazing, isn't it, what they can actually do?
It's phenomenal, but you know, I'm still driving with one eye, so yeah, just about.
Well, it's lovely to see you back again. Thank you very much.
Thanks for having me.
And the very best of luck. We'll put all of the details on our website if you have been affected by anything that we've just discussed, and also you would like some more information on the foundation. It's itv.com/thismorning. Thank you very much indeed.
Thank you.
Back after the break. Don't go away.
Thank you.